Hi guys, Tanya here. So I share products and services, and today I wanted to share products on for poison. Yes, it's about a weekend, but it is poison and it took over a little bit. I've had poison before, but I've had it like in a couple of spots. I've never actually had it taken over a forearm. It's down the side of my face, which has recovered well. It's on this forearm in spotches. It has then moved to my stomach and to my back. So I wanted to share some of the products that I'm using. I do this so that I can share and help other people. Honestly, I came across products that I had never even heard about. So if I can get you ahead of the problem to help, I would love to do that. So when we have a property, backstory. I bought a property last year, 50 acres. My husband loves to hunt. We have ATVs. My kids are 7 and 9. He gets us outdoors. The property, however, had not been used for 30 years. So it was a little overgrown. And we bought it in the spring and summer, so we kind of figured out kudzu was everywhere. Clearly there was poison ivy in the front of the property. He killed it. But there was a horrible water. We have a large mountain, and the water just poured down from a storm that we had a couple of weeks ago, and the debris was everywhere. The creek was up feet. So there was just debris and logs that had carried, and it was all over our campsite. So we were in cleanup mode. I had on gloves. My husband is immune to poison ivy, but it's spring here. I live in Atlanta, Cumming, Georgia, and things are just starting to grow. Well, so the poison hasn't exactly completely come out into 3 leaves yet. But we were in cleanup mode. The first day I wore a long sleeve shirt. The second day I did not, and came out the next day with a rash. Now, it was spring break for us, so I kind of knew that something, but I got it on Tuesday. Wednesday, it started to come up into my arm and my face, but not to the point where I wasn't able to do anything. But I went to the grocery store on Wednesday and I found this. It's Rash Relief. I got it at Kroger. I'm sure you can get it in multiple different places, but it's a medicated anti-itch spray with scar prevention. Because it had started to raise on my face, I was worried about scars. I have scars from acne scars. I don't need scars from poison ivy either. So, and it's homeopathic. So I just wanted to use that. And it did stop some of the itch because, of course, on that given day, the itch had started to take in, and it did help. My husband actually was a paramedic way back in another life. So he knows some things, not about poison ivy, but about wounds. So we keep this close in hand, especially with our kids, as far as Bactine Max. But it's a pain relieving cleaning spray. So I was using this too. I'm still using this. I stopped using this. Like I said, I'm about a weekend, but this will help the itch. It's good for bug bites. That's why we keep it around for the kids too, because my son is prone to bug bites. But this Bactine Max, and I'll put the link, not the link, I'll just put the products that I'm talking about in the description below so that way you can go back and review. But this really does help on an itch. As we got into Thursday now, it started to really flare up. And I have a friend that it is a pharmacist. So I called her and I said, Meg, it's on my face, it's down my forearm, it's really itching, like I need to get ahead of it. What do? I've never had it this bad before. And she said, call the doctor that you've been going to, and call in a steroid because you kind of want to shut it down. You want to dry everything up. I'd never done that before. Okay, I'll take your advice. I called in, got a steroid for 5-6 days. They called it in for me. You could probably go to a doc in the box too if you went and had somebody look at it, but I kind of wanted to get ahead of it and not take out too much time. Oh, and by the way, it's on my forearms. Like, it's really hard to do a lot of things at this point. The other thing she told me to take were, allergy pills. The lid wasn't on. ZYRTEC is what she recommended. So I was taking allergy pills. I finished the ones that I had, and she said she feels like ZYRTEC works the best. So ZYRTEC it was that I took. I'm still taking ZYRTEC. We were taking it because the pollen's coming out and everything. The pollen count is huge. So me and my kids deal with it. So we were already taking allergy medicine, but she wanted to make sure that I was taking the most potent stuff that I could. What she did tell me, which I had never heard of before, was the ZANFEL. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I hadn't. So she works at a pharmacy, and she had it. My husband went and picked it up for me. I wish, first off, I think it saved my face, okay? my face had not started to blister. My forearm is way worse. Obviously, these are my dermatologist says they won't scar, but these were the way worse where the blisters were, and they were already forming by the time I got this. It does tell you to use. There is I don't have my glasses on, a 1.5 inch, okay, of how much you have to use. I didn't use that much the first time. I should have, going back the second day or the second time that I used it. There's a reason, obviously the reason why they tell you to use 1.5 inches. So read the directions first. I think this saved my face from blistering because I was able, it basically takes away the oils from the poison. It's good for poison ivy, oak, and sumac. So it takes away the oils that the poison has given you and washes them away. You have to literally wash for like 3 minutes. Once you have blisters, that's not fun. So before you do, as it's just rising, I think I would have been able to help my arm better if I had this 1 day in advance. And I just didn't know about it, but now I'll keep it on hand because it seems I'm prone to poison ivy. My husband is immune to it. My daughter, thank goodness, who's 9, did everything that I did, and she didn't get anything. So I'm glad for that. I'm glad my kids didn't get it and I got it. But it's painful. It's ridiculous. It's staying with me now for like a month. Because I went to the dermatologist yesterday, but I'll get onto that. So ZANFEL. So once you know that you're breaking out in that rash, whether it's poison, ivy, oak, sumac, whatever, I would go for this. Now, what I did find is when I Googled it, so that my husband could see what the case looked like when he went to the store, there is a code. It can be expensive, so depending upon where you're at, I did see that they sold on Amazon, but depending on where you're at, I would go to RX Coupon. It did come up in a couple searches below. You have to look for it, but in some cases I saw it for over $40. The RX Coupon, I think you could even get it for like Walmart or whatever for $27. We paid like a little under $30. But if it's going to work, it's worth it, but definitely use the coupon. I'm all about saving money. So I want to tell you about the coupon RX. The other thing that he had got, was this, which I have a neighbor that is very allergic and has to go to the hospital when she has poison ivy. So he asked her what she recommended, and ironically she's a nurse, is Calamine spray. The spray works so much better than the lotion. I had some of the lotion, but I felt like the lotion kind of caked on and then it starts to break and it gets everywhere, okay? I've got a 7 and 9-year-old, I'm constantly doing laundry and cleaning clothes. It's on my forearms. That was just not happening for me. And I had wrapped it at some point, just because it's so messy, and you really want to let them air dry. So this Calamine lotion helped dry. It's a dry spray. Can't talk today. It's a dry spray, and it also helped with some of the itching as well. So I have been, and I didn't use it today because I went to the dermatologist yesterday. With the steroid came saying that I was going to have some night sweats, which I'm going through menopause, so it was only going to increase that. And you were going to have a lack of sleep, meaning you're going to be a lot more restless. So my friend almost recommended, look, the lid's on, as Tylenol PM, which did help me occasionally. I took it more on the weekends when I didn't have to wake up for my kids the next day for school, but it did help with the restlessness because of with the steroid. So here we go, fast forward to today. Yesterday I went to the dermatologist because I don't want this to scar. I'm okay with my face, but I knew that, and Megan had told me, she's like, you're probably gonna need another steroid pack. So I had gone to the dermatologist yesterday. Sure enough, need another steroid pack, so he gave me that. And I got topical creams, ointment. This one's kind of an ointment, it's dry. And then a cream for my face, hydrocortisone for my face, to help with that, which is lowered and actually helped tremendously in comparison to what it was. I didn't need to show any of the gruesome pictures. If you have poison ivy, you know what it looks like. But the ointment I have to use for the next 14 days. So I'm hoping this absorbs quickly. I'm hoping that I don't have scars. But the big thing that I wanted to come to share today is why I share product and reviews, period, is because I want to save you time and money. But in this particular case, if I can show you a product that you have never used for, I have no affiliation to it, I just knew that it worked. It really subsided on my face to take away the oils from that poison. And when I posted on my Facebook page personally, there are plenty of people, friends out there that have used it and they swear by it and love it. So if you're prone to poison, I'd recommend having this in your cabinet. Follow me on Facebook. I'd love to get to know you. I come here weekly to review products and services. I'd love to get to know you, watch an additional video or two, and I hope you got value from this. Love to see you again in the future. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.